Hey guys, Zomfox here, and today I'm going to be ranking all 8 United Football League uniforms from worst to best. Now, the new uniforms for 3 of the UFL teams just came out a couple days ago. It wasn't officially released in a sense, as it was more released by proxy thanks to the media day that they had. And so we're going to be looking at these uniforms, ranking them worst to best. Now, this is a very subjective thing, as pending who you ask, some people would say that the XFL's unis were far superior to the USFL's. Some would say the USFL's designs were far better than the XFL, despite the quality being worse. And it is a very subjective thing. I'm going to be giving my opinions on it, on what I think are the good unis and what are the bad unis. This is primarily about the jerseys, though things like the helmet and pants do take into effect. But the jerseys are the most important thing. So that's what's going to be done mostly. So without further ado, let's get started with number 8, the Birmingham Stallions. Well, I think the Stallions are pretty much the best in everything. Uniforms are not one of them. The fact is that the Stallions just have kind of one of the more basic, boring uniforms in the whole league. It's not really bad in a sense, it's just kind of bland. I don't think any of these teams have bad jerseys, but in terms of being bland, this and number 7 both are pretty boring. But at least number 7 has a little bit of uniqueness to it. Really, you have the little shoulder stripes is basically the only unique thing about the Stallions. The helmets aren't anything spectacular. It's just kind of bland to me. That's basically the best way to put it. They're very inoffensive, basic unis. They're not terrible, but to say that they're better than any other team, I don't think so. If you were to tell me to get a jersey of any team, this would be the one I'd pick last. So the Stallions do come in at last of this one, just because the minor changes they did are pretty unnoticeable, whereas other teams like the Panthers and Showboats, the changes are a bit noticeable. The Stallions remain relatively similar to last year. I don't think their uniforms are really anything special. That's why they're at number 8. Not bad, just very boring and bland. The number 7 is the DC Defenders. The DC Defenders shoulder stripes, or not really stripes, but kind of, give them the edge. The 2 little stars they have, as well as the 2 simple red stripes on the away jerseys and then white vice versa for the home ones, that's what gives them the edge. I think that is just a bit better, especially because the numbers have a little bit of a streak to them, especially the home unis. I think the overall design of the pants and all that are better. The helmets, I think, are a bit overrated. I think they're just solid. But I think that overall, it's a better version of the Stallions. Again, it's a very inoffensive jersey style, but it's just better. Red is a very boring color in the United Football League and spring football, mainly thanks to the USFL having a ton of red teams in 2022. But now that we only have a couple, I think that the 2 that are red are kind of boring. So number 7 is where they go. They're not bad. It's just that, again, they're just slightly better designed than number 8. I've seen some people put the Defenders at 1, which I severely disagree with. Because, I mean, again, they're very boring uniforms. They have very little personality to them. Their colors are not unique at all. And that is a big deal that nobody really takes into account. Number 7, again, not bad, but just kind of bland, but just a little bit more unique than number 8 in the Stallions. The number 6 is going to be the Memphis Showboats. I am going to say this. I am in the minority. I think that the changes they did were overall bad. Now, I say overall because the back was a good one. For those of you who don't know, the letters on the back ended up being on the yellow for some reason last year, so it was very hard to actually see the players' names with certain lighting. And so while I do like the change of moving it back down, the fact is the Showboats last year had the exact same jersey as the Maulers when they changed it to, from Bandits to Showboats. And then this year they changed it to be the same as the Roughnecks for some reason. And I'm just not a fan of it. I think it works in the Roughnecks because their color scheme allows it to. With the Showboats, having a little blue stripe up here, or not even stripe, just indent up here to the yellow, it just doesn't really look right to me. And same with the white into the dark blue on the away jersey. I just am not really a huge fan of the changes they made. I think that their uniforms last year were solid, but I think this year they took a step back. The little bit less yellow on the back, to allow the nameplate to be seen, also is a bad look in my opinion, because the yellow is what makes them unique, and getting rid of that, in a sense, is not good. I think that the helmets are just very bland. They're a dark blue helmet, which is cool, but it's just a helmet with a logo on it with no specialty at all. And their color scheme, I like the yellow. I don't really care for the dark blue a ton. The dark blue and the dark blue pants is just kind of eh. I think that they are better than the 2 red teams, though. I think that it is, the unique color scheme is a big deal, and I think that it is the back of the jersey does look decent. It's just, I think they downgraded this one. I think that, naturally the quality, yeah, it's upgraded, but the actual jersey design was a downgrade. I know I'm in the minority in that, but I do think it was a downgrade over last year's. So, but I do have them at 6. I don't think they're bad again. I just think that this is one of the last of the 3 kind of meh unis. And number 5, starting the good ones, in my opinion, is the Houston Roughnecks. The color scheme does that style of jersey much better. Having the white be above the dark blue works a lot better than vice versa, especially for being a home uni. And then the away uni, the tricolor helmet, I think, is super stupid. I am in that boat. It is a very 50-50 topic whether or not you like the tricolor helmet or not. I think the tricolor helmet is stupid. I really don't like it. But I think that the jerseys itself make up for it. And this is a big reason why they're at 5, not at 4, is the helmet. But the jersey itself are really solid. I think that the tricolor works on the nameplate especially, or it's not really tricolor, it's kind of, a dual color with, some mixture in the middle. I actually do think that's very solid. I really do like the away jerseys. I think they have one of the best away jerseys in the entire league. And their home jerseys are just solid. Again, I like the number plates a lot with this team. I think the color scheme does that style of jersey much better than the Showboats. That's why I have them at 5. The number 4, I have the Battlehawks. The Battlehawks are very mid in terms of the design, but it works unlike the Stallions and Defenders to a ton because the colors they use does the very basicness of their jersey well. It's not white, it's light gray. And that is a big difference. The light gray works really well. Makes the away unis look unique, as a lot of teams, well, especially the USL side, were all basically just white. And then it works really well with the blue they have. They don't have a dark blue, they just have a blue. And that works really well. I think that their jerseys look really solid. Their helmets make sense as well. Having the wings on the side of the helmet looks good as well. Overall, they have a really solid jersey scheme. It's the fact is that their jerseys are nothing offensive. They're not really trying too hard. But when you have the right colors to go with a very basic jersey like the Battlehawks, it works. It makes them look really good. That's why I have them at 4 above the other teams. Because technically their jersey is probably even more basic than the Stallions, but their color scheme does it far more justice than the Stallions, who are just a basic red, which is one of the most basic colors you can think of in spring football at the moment. Whereas this blue and light gray is unique and works. I have them at 4. The number 3 is going to be the Brahmas. The Brahmas, I'm shocked to have them this high, but in all honesty, it's mainly because their colors are just so unique. Because it's not black and gold, it's not black and yellow, it's yellow and gray. And it works. Their home unis, they both just look really good. You either have a bright yellow jersey with, the gray letters, numbers, and all that, or you have their home unis, which have the gray for the most part, but then have the numbers and, the yellow stripe or the yellow parts on the shoulders. It's just a really nice looking jersey, in all honesty. The little bull logo, I've talked about it being pretty tacky that every jersey has in the back. It works really well for the Brahmas, as it's another extra little piece of, extra quality for their jerseys that does work very well on them. I think that overall the Brahmas have a really solid jersey. I do think there are 2 teams that have better uniforms than them. I think their helmet is just kind of mid, but in all honesty, their jerseys are really good. And I honestly might end up getting one if I were to get a team's jersey. They might be one of the teams I get. Probably not because they're number 1, but they're up there. The number 2 is the Michigan Panthers. The Michigan Panthers made very minor changes. The main change was adding the maroon pants. That it looks like they've kind of teased 3 different styles of jerseys. 2 home with 2 different pants than the away jersey. The maroon pants were a really good addition. They work insanely well with the jerseys. The Frank Ginda picture just shows how well it works. And the changes to the striping and the quality, it looks really well with the Panthers. The Panthers benefit from having a unique color scheme since their red is, a deep red, not like, red like the Stallions or the Defenders. And then the little light blue stripes they have on the shoulder pads really do well, and the white versus maroon, depending on the home or away jersey. And the fact is that there's very few stuff on it, but unlike the Defenders or Stallions where it's kind of big in the little area it is, it's just very little. Basically, once you're from here inside, the only thing you see is the Under Armour logo, the UFL logo, and the number on the front. And the back is basically the same way with the little bull, the nameplate, and the number. I think that works really well. This is simplicity at its finest. This is not a basic jersey, but a simple jersey, which there is a little bit of a difference. And of course, the helmets are really solid. Having the Panther be much more than just a normal logo, have it actually, have the curved motion and the roar. It actually works really well. All in all, they have easily one of the best uniforms in the whole league. Everybody knew that in the USL side, they had probably the best. Granted, I was one of the minority who did like the purple and orange of the 22 Maulers. I thought it was really unique. But the Panthers have a really great uniform. They deserve number 2. But number 1 is the Renegades. I've seen people put this team really low. I'm sorry. They easily have the best uniforms in the league. I mean, easily. The color scheme itself is brilliant. You have this kind of sky bluish color to go with the white, and then you have a little bit of trickles of red, but you also have this super, super dark gray that's borderline black but really isn't. And it's to the point where you have two separate uniforms that both work with your helmet. Now, the home one works a lot better. The deep black in the middle of the helmet with a light blue on the sides. Oh my God, the home jerseys look so good. I might cop one of those whenever they come out live this year. But the away jerseys, I would say that they, aside from, I don't know, they're arguably the best in the league. The pants with the away jerseys are great. Not fully white. They have, the whole middle stripe area with the white, red, and light blue. And then the jersey itself, especially because the numbers are unique. Because the numbers aren't just, a one color, whether it be a white or a different color. It's an actual outline type of thing. The two, like for instance, with the Hawkins picture, the two has the black outline, but then inside you have the red. So it pops out in a way that's very different from most other teams. And that's what's really nice about them. And even the collar has the red. So it's these little trickles of red spreaded around the uniform that makes it just so much better than the rest. It really is easily the best uniform in the league. When I did this list, number one was obvious from the start. It was obviously the Renegades. I don't think there's any team that's even close to them. I love the Panthers. I think the Brahmas colors are unique. The Battlehawks simplicity is great. The Renegades are number one. I mean, it's just easily. They're so unique in a good way. This isn't them, because I understood why people didn't like the Maulers. It's being unique but trying too hard. The Renegades are just unique by proxy of good design. I mean, you're telling me that a jersey that is white primarily, but then the numbers have a red outline to a light blue inside doesn't look good? I'm sorry. Easily number one is the Renegades. That's my thoughts on it. So that'll do it for my ranking of all 8 United Football League uniforms. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Again, this is a very subjective list, but I stand behind everything I said in there. I think that when you look at it, the Renegades are clearly the best. Panthers are up there. The Brahmas and Battlehawks are really good. But then the rest of the league is just kind of, well, the Roughnecks are solid too, but I think that the Showboats they did some disservice to them with the changes. I think that they went from being a potential top 4 spot to a bottom 3 spot and things like that. Again, I know I've seen some people put the Defenders insanely high. I just don't buy that. I think the Defenders are just a very mid uniform all in all. That's why they're so low. So that'll do it for me. Cuts are happening tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, so I might have a video out tomorrow or Tuesday, probably, or Monday, talking about some of those cuts if there's some major ones. Scrimmages are happening today, the video this is posted on, in March 9th. As always, have a great night.